With a typically superb Art Deco style, it was built in 1927 by architects Urban Peacock and Armin Frank. The hotel hosted celebrities such as the Beatles and Liberace. Liberace used to perform in the lobby on a regular basis. Some of these legendary people would spend the night at the Ambassador, after a night of entertaining visitors and admirers in the lobby or downtown. During a convention in 1960, then presidential candidate John F. Kennedy spoke at the Ambassador. The neighborhood surrounding the hotel, on the other hand, progressively lost its shine over time. Rick Wiegand, a local real estate entrepreneur and alumni of Marquette University, and his team have worked tirelessly to restore the Ambassador to its former glory. The hotel was renovated in 2012 for an estimated $12 million. But the hotel has a dark past and a haunting present. September 15 of 1987, Jeffrey Dahmer met 24-year-old Stephen Tuomi. Dahmer was on probation at the time, for a previous crime. The two men spent the night drinking hard and going to numerous bars together. Later that night, they ended up in a room together in the Ambassador, room 507. Tuomi was murdered by Dahmer while he was inebriated. The next morning, when he awoke and discovered Tuomi dead, Dahmer packed his body in a suitcase and transported it to his grandmother's house, where he was staying at the time. He played out his impulses in the basement before dismembering the body. Stephen's family attempted to locate him on their own, but when that proved impossible, they filed a formal missing persons report with the police in December, 3 months after Tuomi went missing. He played out his impulses in the basement before dismembering the body. Stephen's family attempted to locate him on their own, but when that proved impossible, they filed a formal missing persons report with the police in December, 3 months after Tuomi went missing. They didn't find out what happened until 1991. The Milwaukee cannibal, Jeffrey Dahmer, was ultimately arrested by the police and confessed. In a drunken state, Tuomi was battered to death in the hotel room. Tuomi's corpse was said to be in an odd position, dangling over the edge of the bed when Dahmer awakened to find him dead. Some guests have stated that they have awoken to find themselves in a similarly awkward position. Visitors to room 507 have experienced a variety of strange occurrences, including an unexplainable thickness in the room. Odd feelings wake some individuals up in the middle of the night. The hotel is said to be haunted by Tuomi's spirit. Strange incidents have been reported in various rooms across the hotel. Beds are made or unmade before housekeeping has had an opportunity to clean the rooms. Items have been known to vanish, only to reappear later in a different location. Messages are also scribbled over the mirrors, according to some witnesses. The Hilton Garden is a newer hotel in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. It's highly rated, and one of the best hotels in the area. It is housed in a historic building that was built in 1886, known as the Loyalty Building. Despite the fact that the hotel is relatively new, it is located on historic property that dates back over a century. The current structure replaced the Newhall House, which was a hotel also. It burnt down on January 10, 1883, killing at least 72 people. The fire started in the wooden elevator shaft of the luxurious hotel, and took over 26 hours to put out. Many guests committed suicide by jumping from their windows. General Tom Thumb of the P.T. Barnum Circus fame, and his wife Lavinia Warren were among the survivors of the fire, who were carried out of the building by a Milwaukee firefighter. Since that day, the site is said to be haunted. When delivering trays of food or drinks, wait personnel have reported seeing weird streaks of white light in their peripheral vision. Meanwhile, the employees have experienced a number of incidents in the hotel, particularly in rooms 201 and 326. In room 201, two hotel staff both saw the bathroom door opening and shutting by itself, while maids in room 326 say their hair is frequently yanked, and they often feel as if there is someone else in the room monitoring their every move. Grant Park, a 380-acre area which opened in 1911, is one of Milwaukee County's earliest parks, as well as one of the most influential. The Milwaukee County Park Commission engaged Frederick Wolf, a German horticulturist, in 1914 to establish a nursery, greenhouse, orchard, and game farm to provide stock for the park system's expansion. Wolf was also responsible for most of Grant Park's construction, notably the Seven Bridges Trail. For Wolf and his family, a home was erected atop a ravine in 1917, in what is now the Seven Bridges Trail. The home still exists at the trail's side and is utilized for overnight stays by youth organizations. The Seven Bridges Trail is a major attraction in Grant Park, attracting thousands of tourists from all around the Milwaukee region and beyond. Many people come to learn about and observe wildlife. Birding, photography, wildlife observation, peaceful strolling, and access to Lake Michigan are all available on the route. The trail, which is heavily forested and just a half-mile long, features a stream that runs down the valley to the lake, magnificent stone walls and benches, and multiple wooden bridges, including the ornate entrance bridge at the trail beginning. At Seven Bridges Trail, there are several claims of paranormal encounters. Some individuals claim to have seen a misty ghost on the covered bridge, either coming up from the main bridge, or appearing right next to them as they pass the ravine's entrance. Others have seen a luminous ghost of a lady who is dressed in white, on the unpaved stretch of the route near the shore, who supposedly is looking for children who are said to have drowned in Lake Michigan's frigid depths. Passing by the stone bench at night, hikers have reported hearing frightening screams from deep in the woods. The most terrifying part is that some who continue in traveling down the trails have heard phantom footsteps approaching them, followed by heavy breathing. The footsteps and breathing become closer, then fade away, leaving a dreadful sense in their wake. In 2015, a series of headless chickens were discovered in the area, prompting an investigation. Fearful locals experienced something similar to a modern demonic panic as a result. The Order of Goodfellows was founded on February 6, 1898, by 6 men who sought to serve the poor. Their name was changed to the Fraternal Order of Eagles in 1899. The Milwaukee Fraternal Order of Eagles was founded in 1901 by performers, writers, and stagehands who worked in the theater. By 1941, they had grown to be the largest Eagles Club in the United States. This Eagles Club structure, designed by Russell Barr Williamson, who trained under Frank Lloyd Wright, was completed in 1926, and is regarded as the greatest and grandest Eagles Club building in the United States. It had a ballroom, and on the remaining 3 floors and basement, there were a variety of lounges, an athletic club with a 2-story gymnasium, bowling alley, boxing ring, basketball court, a pool hall, swimming pool, a barber shop, a radio station, and a cafeteria. The idea of employing the structure for music performances caught on in 1939, and the building's role was reinvented. Big band music, such as that of bandleaders Guy Lombardo and Glenn Miller and their orchestras, were popular in the Grand Ballroom. It was also used as a men's shelter, to help the homeless during the cold winter months. Between 1939 until the mid-60s, stand-up comedians such as Bob Hope and Red Skelton performed stand-up comedy. Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Big Bopper, Dion and the Belmonts, and Ritchie Valens performed there also. The 1970s saw the emergence of even more well-known bands and individuals, including Eric Clapton, as well as other rising rock legends. The Eagles Club was salvaged in late 1992, when it was purchased by Wauwatosa businessman Anthony Balestrieri and his wife. They began the lengthy process of repairing the exquisite ballroom's historic splendor, as well as the exterior facade. They also converted additional spaces into concert venues, including a 150,000 square foot multi-stage musical facility, with 7 stages. The Rave's Eagles Club reopened in the mid-1990s under its new name. But like most haunted places, it also has a dark past. Buddy Holly's final performance took place in the Eagles Ballroom in 1959, just before he was killed in a plane crash with Ritchie Valens and the Big Bopper, on February 3, 1959. After having a heart attack, a 17-year-old young man perished in the pool. The men who stayed here were bullied by the director of the men's shelter, who was cruel and aggressive. The athletic club was forced to close after at least 2 children drowned in the pool. Some of the many ghosts include Jack, a former employee, is still present and working in the boiler room, where he resides. It is said he despises visitors to his area. A small girl's spirit wanders the basement passageways behind the coat check area. The sound of her laughter may be heard, and her presence might cause a sudden sensation of terror in the living. In the basement where the pool is located, staff have heard shuffling footsteps, and smelled a strong stench of chlorine. The Eagle Shelter Manager's entity is said to be the source of oppressive energy, unpleasant vibes, and freezing cold places experienced by many people, mainly in the early hours of closing time. Staff and a few band members have reported seeing shadow people, while closing up for the night after performing at the hall. Apparitions have been sensed and seen in the ballroom, typically when only the musicians are rehearsing, after the spectators have left, or when the ballroom is vacant for the evening. Some even claim to have seen Buddy Holly's ghost. The original Northpoint Lighthouse was built in 1855, and opened to the public on November 2nd. The beacon was raised 107 feet above the lake by a 28-foot tower erected on the cliff, making it the tallest on the Great Lakes. Because of the development of advanced navigation devices, lighthouses are no longer essential, therefore the Northpoint Lighthouse was decommissioned in 1994. In 1996, Milwaukee community organizations laid the framework for repairs, and began planning for the lighthouse, keepers' quarters, and bluff top site suitable usage for the future. The U.S. Coast Guard officially transferred ownership of the 2-acre lighthouse site to Milwaukee County on October 13, 2003, legally and permanently incorporating it into Lake Park. The lighthouse was restored with a $984,000 grant, and reopened to the public as a marine museum in 2007. The Northpoint Lighthouse is one of Milwaukee's most haunted landmarks. The sound of youngsters laughing and playing can be heard throughout the facility, giving visitors the impression that they are not alone. Also, reports of cold spots and odd noises are common. Strange activity has also been reported on the bridge below the lighthouse. On and around the bridge, there are bright dancing lights that emerge out of nowhere and then vanish. Marquette University is possibly the most haunted school in Wisconsin. The university is a 93-acre co-educational private university in Milwaukee. The Society of Jesus established the school in 1881 to give a low-cost Catholic education to the area's German immigrants. The college, which had previously been an all-male school, became the world's first co-ed Catholic university when it admitted women in 1909. The college would later become recognized for its medical school, which offers excellent nursing, dentistry, and pharmacy degrees. It has also gained a reputation as being the home to many different ghosts. Strage Tower was a YMCA until 1993, when the university bought it and converted it into a residence hall. The building features a pool in the basement, which is considered to be the home of Whispering Willie, the building's most renowned ghost. Willie is supposed to have drowned many years ago in the pool. Late-night swimmers have reported seeing a boy swimming beside them as they finish their laps, before he vanishes just as fast. Willie is also suspected of causing mischief in the dorms, such as yanking blankets from sleeping students and turning lights on and off. The communications school is located on the 5th level of Johnston Hall. Those who visit late at night describe hearing unidentified footsteps, and doors that open and close on their own. A group of ghost hunting students performed an investigation in the 1990s. They recorded chilly patches and unusual noises, as well as seeing an eerie blue light and filming a shadowy figure. A different kind of ghost lives on the 5th floor of Johnston Hall. 2 Jesuits are accused of committing suicide by jumping from the 5th floor balcony in the early 1960s. The balcony, which faces the side of Jesuit Church, appears normal, but it told a different story when several Marquette Tribune writers spent the night there in the late 1990s. According to reports, the reporters saw a drastic shift in temperature, heard strange sounds, saw blue lights, and videotaped an unexplained figure. Humphrey Hall is the location where the most paranormal activity has been witnessed. The facility, which housed a children's hospital from 1923 until 1988, included a basement-level morgue when Marquette purchased it to use as a dormitory. Former residents have made their presence felt despite a thorough restoration in 2015. Throughout the structure, Groups of ghostly children dressed in hospital gowns have been seen and heard. Previously a hotel, Carpenter Tower Hall, according to reports, claim the structure is haunted by a little boy who died in a fire many years ago. According to legend, the boy's ghost may occasionally be seen peering out a window on the building's top story. We will put a few links below to other videos we have made about places in Milwaukee and also Wisconsin. So what do you think about haunted Milwaukee? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, please like and subscribe.